Okay, let's talk through all these golf events that you have coming up.
Gabby, I'm glad you asked. Got my calendar right here. July 17th at Red Run, and then July 31st, I have the American Golf Outing for the Cancer Society.
I also have the American Cancer Society golf outing on the 31st, and also I got yours on the 18th, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Whoa, boys, these are a lot of events and golf outings.
Well, you want me to miss my own golf tournament?
Gabby, they're all great cars.
I mean, this is...
Hold on. I got this. Guys, I got this. Don't worry about it. Hold on a second.
He always...
Hey guys, thanks for coming so fast. How are ya? Remember the guys from Randy Wise, right, sir?
Oh,
The Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
Watch for the eye.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much. Brought to you in part by Premier Security Solutions, Fairway Packing Company, and Swiss Insurance. Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com. Yo, what's going on, buddy? Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Big D!
My name is Neal. Ruhl. D-Mac is back in effect. Happy to have him back. Happy to have you all with us on the woodwardsports.com chat thread as well. We got Sam Flannel in the house. We got Spencer Racksta. We are back. We are locked. We are loaded. We are ready to go, D-Mac.
Yeah, let's go. I was going to say, how was your weekend, but we're already into Tuesday.
Old
Long
news.
weekends out there yesterday, Oakland Hills. Shout out to Detroit Sports Commission golf outing. Great time. Didn't play the South, played the North, but love the North. Ross is an MFer. Donald.
Yes, he absolutely can be. It depends on the day.
Beautiful day though. What a great stretch of weather.
How is the track with the drought and all the lack of rain and stuff like that?
You know what? It's.
I mean, it's Oakland Hills. I understand that, but
yeah, they got a plethora of water. It wasn't that bad. You could tell a little bit holding the greens, but the big deal over there always is the rough.
Yeah,
the rough. Just even when it's down, it's up. So yes, I think more so. I played. Throughout the county, I played up at Hunter's Ridge this weekend, and you could tell like a little bit that some of the courses drying out that need some rain and stuff like that. So, but I'll be out there, out and about, keep plugging away.
Yeah, no, even the lawn at the Palatial Ruhl Estate is bearing the brunt of.
So what do you do?
Kind of just hand water it with a little sprinkler from the store. Run the hose out to that specific spot.
Would you ever paint your grass? Okay, so you're
maybe.
not against it.
I'm not against it.
Okay, that answers
You know what
my
I would
question.
like to do? Honest to God, I would love to just field turf the whole thing and never deal with it.
Oh, that would be
Because
awesome.
hey guys, I cut my own grass. I do that. I love it.
But it's your thing.
It's my thing, dude. I love it. It's 2 hours. I'm out there.
Yes, and it's all about the victory bourbon at the end.
You know, it's
I
like
do,
D-Mac.
I know.
It's
Now, is
like
it
you're there.
Now in this weather, like now, it's been so nice, and yes, lack of rain, but the humidity's down or whatever. Now you can cut it at any time. Do you have an optimal cutting time, like near sunset, or do you?
Typically, it's in the morning on the weekend at some
Okay.
point because that's when the window presents itself for me to do it.
Okay.
Before we have a game that there's a Detroit City game, which they made a trade today, by the way. We'll discuss that later. People talk about it in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Jump into there. Detroit Dabber 313 with the big what up though. Jump in there. Get your comments out there. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast wherever you get your podcast. Spencer, what should they do after they subscribe?
5-star.
Give it a 5-star review. That's Darren McCarty asking. It's not me.
Yeah, do it for Spenny.
There, do it for Spen.
Do it for Spenny. Well, the big thing is that you might wonder. We're talking about grass and segue. We talk about golf and stuff like that. Is that the biggest news? I know that the Vegas Knights took a 2-0 lead with a big 7-2 win last night. We could talk about that, but how about the golf announcement before our show?
And just so you know, we'll be joined by Jason Langwell, the executive director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic, coming up in about 23 minutes from now. So that was well timed for once.
Wait, We're Big D Energy. They know they didn't do it for the bottom. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
When I
haven't
reached
been around,
out-
but you guys have been doing some work.
When I reached
coming
out-
back and it's all on golf.
Yeah,
come on.
When I
man.
reached out to our friends over there at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, I said, "Hey, this is Neal Ruhl with Ermanni and Edwards," and you know, all of a sudden things got done. It was wild.
But what were your first thoughts? And if anybody
know-
doesn't understand and know with the PGA and Live Golf Tour and all the different over the past 2 years,
Yeah.
guys
They're
moving
merging
back
now.
and forth. Now they're merging.
Yep, they are. And Detroit Dabber 313 says PGA bending the knee, money always wins.
But you called this,
Yes.
and you saw the writing on the wall. Maybe not this quick or whatever, but you after the PGA.
That's
You
it.
said
That's
it
what
was
it was.
absolutely apparent. And why was that, Neal?
Because when Brooks Koepka won, he wasn't the story.
Brooks Koepka, who's a Live player, a
Yes.
guy that left.
Who has the third most majors since the in the 2000s, the third most. Think about that for a second. You know, he's been a dominant force on the PGA Tour and now into Live, and it doesn't matter where he is. He still wins the majors. And when he won the PGA, it's almost like he was indirectly whitewashed. You know what I'm saying? Like the story became this Club Pro guy. And even in the picture of Koepka with the trophy that the tour put out, this Club Pro guy's in the background. Like, he was everywhere. What was the narrative? Dude was on CNN and stuff like that, man. Like, he was everywhere. So it became apparent to me that there was a divide. And look, we knew there was a divide before. But it became apparent that there was a divide in how the PGA Tour was handling it. Liv was a threat to them. They are. They have the best players, D-Mac. That's all that matters.
So is this the case of you can't beat them, join them?
100%.
100%.
And they have the money. They have the best players. They have the money. Period. End of story. I don't understand how you could perceive this as anything but a win for Liv.
Yeah, no, I if anybody out there, please, woodwardsports.com chat. Tell me how there's a loss in there for Liv. And for all these guys that went away, got paid, took the money, and now they're going to get the exemptions with all the lawsuits and stuff about being a PGA Tour member. Can they come back or not? That seems to be question seems to be answered. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this.
Detroit Tavern Neal with the grass stained Nike Air Monarchs and high socks mowing. That is not the case. Basically, what I do for my lawn mowing shoes is my old running shoes. You know, once they get worn down.
How many miles do you have to put on them on the treadmill to be able to?
Between probably about 500.
500.
Yeah, 500 to 1,000.
And they get retired to the.
And then they get
grass
retired
shoes.
they transition to the next stage of their life.
Oh, I see. This is like retirement.
Yeah, they transition to the next stage of their life, D-Mac.
Now, do they get to enjoy? Are you wearing the grass cutting shoes as you're drinking the bourbon? Is that like part of the retirement, or have you taken?
No,
them
I
off?
take those off in the garage. You know how
Okay,
that works.
I just wondering.
Yeah, you know how that works. Andrew,
So then the next step's the bourbon shoes.
then the next step's
the
the bourbon
slippers.
shoe.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The slippers.
Those are typically the soccer slides. You know, so it is something that we're talking about. The FJ 1967, Neal cutting grass and watching airplanes. Yeah, I cut grass in the morning. I go call my soccer match or whatever I got to do for TV. I come back home. I sit out on the deck. And then I watch the airplanes fly in the sky and have bourbon. That's pretty much an electric Saturday night over at the Ruhl household. With 3 kids, D-Mac, that's how it works.
Okay. It does. All right.
Wait, Sam Flannel, your time's
Knowledge
coming.
is power.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but you know what? It's not quite there yet. As of right now, it sounds a little geeky, but you know what? I'm getting up there in age as well, and I've been married for almost a year, so we shall see what happens.
Do you cut your lawn, Sam?
I live in a condo, so I don't even have to.
Boosh. There it is.
Smart man.
Hey, as of right now, yeah. I don't even know if I ever want to leave the condo. I know my wife wants to buy a house someday, and I'm kind of like, I don't know about that. I'll stay right here.
But as we said, 1128, Jason Langwell, the executive director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic, will join us. And hey, bottom line, we'll ask him about it. I don't imagine he'll have a lot to say, D-Mac, because this broke like 30 minutes ago or whatever it was. It's not like the tour called Jason Langwell and said, "Hey, we're thinking about doing this. Your thoughts?" But wait, we'll ask the question.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're feeling, and not just them, but what we will see moving forward for PGA tours, right? Like this one's coming the end of the month. Does it change the field? I don't know. It's questions that we are going to ask, but definitely. I didn't see this coming. Did you hear buzz of this coming?
No.
Or it just other than what you saw the writing on the wall?
Yeah, I mean, I knew this was coming eventually. I didn't think that it was coming like this morning or anything like that. Look, guys, and look, if you're a PGA Tour player and you passed up the bag,
Just for you get to that's a question of scruples, right? So if you're going to sit there and because at the end of the day, what did the PGA like? And do you look at it this like selling out, Neal, or is it like if you can't beat them, join them? I mean, there's some sort of respect.
it's simple, D-Man.
Respect to the fact that the writing sort of must have been on the wall, and they're sort of getting ahead of it. The PGA tries to. When they can't get their way, they try to get their way. So what do? They join up to where they can make the money.
The bottom line is this. You remember before when we were talking about the USFL, and I think this was last year, and somebody asked me, they said, Neal, will the USFL make it like it used to be? I'm like, no, because they don't have the players. Right. Everyone expects the USFL to be like this throwback and be like it was. No, because what did the USFL do the first time? They got Herschel Walker. They got Steve Young. Dudes didn't go in the NFL draft to sign with the USFL. They had the best players. When you have the best players, that's what people want to see. It's tried and true. Liv has Brooks Koepka. He's one of the best players. Yeah. Dustin Johnson, he's one of the best players. I know the narrative was, well, these guys are has-beens and they're washed. Like, that was the narrative. Although Rory McIlroy fits that exact description, has done everything that they've done. He was hailed as a hero. How do you feel if you're
Rory right now? Because you're the one that was holding the
sword
for the PGA.
He had $500 million that he passed up.
No, I understand, and he's holding that sword for the PGA like sort of William Wallace, and he sort of ended up like William Wallace getting gutted.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what it is. Kyle R. says, good morning, boys, from Belleville, Ontario.
Whoa, Bell Vegas.
Go Bulls.
Bell Vegas, formerly known the home of the Belleville Bulls. Got my Bulls ring on right here. Yeah. There it is. 30-some years ago. 31 years ago. Still fits.
OHL, that was peak OHL back then.
It was good. That's
when you guys are coming up there.
My time there was played. We played the Eric Lindros was in Oshawa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I would go to the Ambassadors played at Cobo.
Yeah,
I would go to those games there a lot. Pat Peak.
Oh,
that was my guy.
Shout out to Peaker.
Yeah.
Dude, if you talk about, and I see this like guys that could have, because I think he's got 27 ankle surgeries, Achilles.
It's a massive number.
But he first rounder Washington Capitals. That's a guy that could have been, one unbelievable player. What still is. He still skates. Even with all their injuries, he still skates in the alumni. So,
question for you, DMAC, from Robert Closia, the mayor.
Yes.
DMAC, did you know the Saudis invested in the WWE as part of the sports washing campaign? Do you think MBS was also an Iron Sheik fan?
Absolutely. I mean, that's where it is. Like this sort of mergers along the lines of Endeavor, UFC, WWE, like stuff like that. So you see that in the WWE because they go over to Saudi Arabia and do, that event all the time. They just had one, more and more so. So, yes, I guess the question or the statement is, you're right, Councilman, is that the Saudi money is all over. And now I think it's more transparent. It's coming more of, here it is. And they're letting us see where it is invested.
And DMAC, that's what it's going to be. Ronaldo plays in Saudi Arabia. Karim Benzema just signed a deal to play in Saudi Arabia.
What do we always say, Neal? Follow the money,
man. You'll get the answers. Just follow the money and you'll get the answers. That's the way it's going, guys. And guess what? Like the NBA, could you imagine if Saudi Arabia started a basketball league and they got LeBron and they got Nikola Jokic and a couple more of those guys? Guess what? Talent driven, man.
Talent driven.
We like the outliers. We don't like what everybody else. We don't like the common stuff. We like the outliers. We've proven it time and time again.
It's more like we like the transaction more than the action.
More than the action. That's all it is. Byrne also says in the 80s the NFL wasn't the beast that it is now. And Byrne, it's not even that, Byrne. The money. Steve Young got $35 million to go to the USFL. You weren't getting that kind of money back then in those times.
What's $35 million back then? That's like $50 million.
Yeah, 100%.
Today,
like
or
it's
whatever.
easy.
Getting the Deshaun contract. That's what people don't understand. Steve Young had the first Deshaun Watson contract back in the day.
Yeah, so I mean this is the way it's worked. This is the way it has worked. This is the way it works. This is the way it's going to work. Guess what? Somebody comes to me with $2 million a year. Guess where I'm going, D-Mac? I don't even care where the job is.
Well, we already know that.
It could be on the moon.
You're all about the bag, baby.
And
all
hey,
about the bag.
And you're all about the
just
and you're
like
all about
I'm
the plan.
all about get educated, get medicated. Guys, how about this? If you want to elevate your senses, embrace the harmony of nature at Dispo Dispensary. Whether you're a seasoned connoisseur or new to your plant life journey, Dispo is where to go. Dispo has over 10 locations with experienced bud tenders ready to serve your needs. If you head up to Romeo before heavyweights, you can go even get served by Easy. You know, that's all tied in. So visit disposhops.com today. That's DISPO shops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rackstead here with you back in studio. And again, shout out to everybody at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. Those are my people over there. I initiated the EV talks, Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's getting real.
Okay.
It's getting real, so it may happen.
I have all the confidence in the world in it.
But it's got to make dollars before it makes sense, so we don't rush into anything. You know what I'm saying?
No, now when it comes to the bag, when it's a reverse bag going the other
when
way.
it's going out, it's even more scrutinized.
Yeah.
When the bag's coming in, we just sign and take the bag. You know, so that's the way that it works. Elijah Robert Cinema says Live Golf pulled a Michael Scott Paper Company on the PGA. Do you like that one, Flannel?
Oh yeah, I that's actually a fairly, not quite a linear comparison, but it's always nice to get office references on Big D Energy. I love it.
Thanks, Dwight.
Pete Smith says, I already felt bad watching the Qatar World Cup, but if the Saudis get it, I may be like Italy and boycott it. Well, I don't think Italy was boycotting. I just think that they didn't qualify. Like, you can say that, I guess, after you don't qualify. But what about this one, D-Mac, close to home? HAL 9000. Everyone despised Ted Lindsay for creating a union and NHL ice hockey players at first.
No, they're not the players, all the owners and stuff like this. But yeah, there's a lot of contention. But he stuck up for the players and created the union. I mean, there's a great documentary, or not a documentary, a series in Canada. I forget what it's called, For the Love of the Game, or I don't know. But it tells about the creation of the players union, and Ted was at the forefront of that. And that's where all of us are. Why the Ted Lindsay Award for the most goals in the league is given and stuff like that. It's one of those, at the time, you look at the way of the country, in the 60s and Canada, US, and all the different things going on, that I think it's taken more time. And into us that played in the 90s and realized more so of how much that guys like Ted Lindsay had done for us, and the pioneers of that to today. And that's what sports is so important, to keep it for the young kids to understand who came before them and what was sacrificed. So.
Did Ted Lindsay pull like a Patrick Ewing and get on the microphone when they were announcing it and say, we make a lot of money, but you got to remember, we spend a lot of money too? Chances are Ted Lindsay didn't say that.
I don't think it was. You got to remember, back when these guys played, like, they had summer jobs, like real jobs.
Right.
Whether it was, a lot of them were.
It was like
reps.
Hockey was like delivering pizzas. To some
Something
degree.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the best player in the league is making like
Or
$7
being an Uber
grand or
driver.
whatever. So it was more too of. And I know that James Norris, the owner of the Wings, really hated Ted Lindsay for it because it's saying
Got in
to
his
Gordie
pocket.
Howe and everything else is like when the biggest thing is transparency. That's why the transparency of the dollar, if everybody knows what everybody else is making or
And
around
that's-
there. And
that's
back
it.
then, if you don't hide it and you know what somebody else, then you can know what your value and your worth is. And, it's all about, you just want something for the effort, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. And here's a conversation, Neal, and this is something that we will, get into. It's not for today and stuff like this, but I've had other people, talk to me and more than once and question me, when will the hockey scale go up? Is it time for the players with all these young talented guys? Do they have an ability to sort of, change things? And the biggest thing is the NHLPA isn't where it should be. They're working towards it, but the strength of it now isn't as strong as it has been back in past.
Yeah, and look, that's what it'll take, right? And this discussion wasn't designed to go this way, but I mean, here we are because it seems to be the order of the day, right? PGA Golf and the Live Golf Tour are merging together now. So, and we know why. Like, I don't need to know the details of it to kind of get an idea of the details of it. And the bottom line through all of it, and I have heard that the hockey salary cap will rise because franchise valuations have gone up. I mean, you heard the discussions about the Ottawa Senators being sold, probably be the first $1 billion hockey franchise.
And what does that tell you? Where do you put Ottawa? I know it's the capital of Canada and stuff like this, but you don't think of that as the utmost $1 billion company in hockey, because hockey still doesn't get the rub that it should, but maybe now, and a lot has to do with you're bringing in a generational player in a Connor Bedard. Like this is every 10, 12 years that you get somebody like this. So it being more of a global game also. So we'll wait and see. I mean, is it out of the question to see the Saudi money come into hockey?
No,
I don't think so. If it's a winning investment, so we'll have to see.
Real Cream of Wheat in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread says that oil money. Well, hey, I'm doing my part. I'm probably going to make the switch to the EV. So I'm doing my part, D-Mac. That's not really it. I am kind of tired of going to the gas station.
And tax break.
And a tax credit.
Yeah.
Those are valuable around these parts.
Oh, for sure.
There you go, especially you two.
Yeah. Those are valuable, no doubt. No, but that is it, though. Like, I want to plant my flag and say, hey, I'm Mr. Environment and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But really, I just don't want to go to the gas station.
And the tax break.
And the tax break.
Yeah.
In that order.
For
real. The tax break's nice.
Yeah.
But I really am tired of taking that.
You can have the charging station in your house.
And when I leave in the morning, I'm good to go for the day.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
No, it makes total sense when you drive in the metro area, right?
Yeah.
Where you're not have to worry about, oh my gosh, I got to go 300 miles or something like this. Where am I going to recharge? Stuff like that. So it makes total sense for you being, dad caravan.
Absolutely.
You gotta upgrade the taxi.
And it is just that. It's just not going to the gas station. Because the gas station's a 10-minute process minimum. Mm-hmm. So that's 10 more minutes. I get, I can drink a bourbon in 10 minutes. I can put that time to better use.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to be. Robert Colosia says the Saudis also bought Newcastle United, who are now going to the Champions League next year. And because I just wonder, here's my thing, D-Mac, where what I like about pro sports, and this echoes your comment about the transparency of the money. Pro sports is about money.
Money.
Your money when you're a player. The owner's money when they're an owner. The TV network's money when they're buying the rights. The NHLPA when they're selling the likeness to video games. Everything. They put you guys on cereal box. All that stuff. it's about money. There is no secret, right? And hockey's probably the one that's closest to a little bit different. Like when you guys play in the playoffs, you're not paid for that. Correct?
No, you get a
bonus
percentage
yeah.
of share, whatever, depending on where you finish.
It's not part of your contract.
But everybody gets the same. Each team gets you get 25 shares or 30 shares, and that's split up. And then depending on different guys, they might split up half shares and stuff like this. So it depends on how far you go in the playoffs. But that's already, standard by the league.
Right.
And what would it be? Like if you win the finals, I think the most it was like 90,000.
Yeah.
Is what you made, which is, that's for 2 months. So that's it. That you're not making. That's where the owners make their money.
Yeah. So and here come the EV comments. EV's trash and Michigan winners. Okay. I'll holler at you when I drive by the gas station. Don't have to stop.
Ford's got a big EV trucks and all this other stuff now. So as long as it's charged, I'd just be afraid of frying the battery.
A Dirty Burrito says, I don't see the Saudis building an ice rink anytime soon. Who knows if the money's right?
Yeah.
But here's the whole thing. Can we agree? If anybody can build an ice rink as quick as anybody else, it'd be the Saudis. Mm-hmm. Look at the buildings they put up.
Yeah. So what about this? And Colosia brings up this point too. Think about this, D-Mac, when we talk about we're talking about bags and sports and everything like that. Colosia says the Vegas Golden Knights, the same price as the new MLS team that's going in San Diego.
And and I'm guessing
expansion fee,
No. So is the Vegas Knights, what's their value now from what they were bought at? Is that the highest rising, team as far as
yesterday's
value?
price is not
so how much
today's price.
what is an MLS team or whatever? What is the price on that? What would that price be?
They're $300 million now for expansion fees going up.
Wow.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Obviously. That's good, but again, to your point, Neal, of what you said there, you're adding teams like Vegas, and they're playing might win Stanley Cup final. I mean, what does their value go if they win? You know what I mean? That'll be huge for the value, and I guess that might be if you had a new team. What is it, Neal? If Ottawa's worth $1 billion, what is Vegas worth?
It's got to be in that discussion.
Billion and a
$1.5
billion.
Yeah, as Joik says,
So that's a pretty good investment.
Price.
That's a pretty good investment in 5 years?
Yes, just like Guardian Alarm is a good investment.
Well, absolutely, because Guardian Alarm, let them offer you customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians who take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number, 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as is needed. But I need you to call the number today, 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Yes, real people, flesh and blood. Homo sapiens, safety and security deserves technology that's proven to work, and people who have proven to care. No matter what you think or what your take is. Exhibit A, Flannel Sam. How many straight days of flannel protection, sir?
291.
291 straight days of flannel protection. See, Guardian Alarm, they don't care. Personal, business, they're just there to protect. So whatever it is that you need, Guardian's got your back, but I need you to call today. The number, 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of an NBA Finals victory, Miami Heat. Now the narrative is you did a good job on Nikola Jokic despite holding them to 41, 11, and 4 efficiently. Get the F out of here.
Stay out of getting a Stanley Cup, Florida. It's not looking good for you guys.
Yeah, sadly, I think that's going to be the case. Yeah. But you know what? Let's rally the troops. Might have a get right. Stay out of ruining a get right, Vegas.
Okay.
There it is. Guardian Alarm, local security experts. Tell them Big D Energy. Oh, we sent you.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. Happy to have you along for the ride. And couple minutes here, we're working on getting together with our guy Jason Langwell, executive director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. So we will talk to him. We'll ask him about the whole situation with Live and the PGA Tour and all that kind of stuff. We have a lot of Lion stuff to get to a little bit later on in the show as well. Some offensive Lions numbers that are pretty staggering, and we all know how good their offense was last year. But when we give you these numbers, it really is incredible. But D-Mac, it is something. Rocket Mortgage Classic in the 5th year. Exciting, man. Coming off the Grand Prix, it's exciting.
Well, it always is, right? And we've mentioned about the spotlight being on Detroit. This is another major event, especially, bing, bang, back to back. And if you look at, even on the 30,000-foot view, you started with Movement Fest, which brought a ton of people downtown. Spenny, did you hit up Movement Fest?
I did not. I did not go to Movement. A lot of my friends went.
Yeah, and from what you hear, and they took downtown from Movement, changed it all into the Grand Prix, and we saw. You mentioned that, Neal. The fact I saw it on your Twitter account that you were watching it, and it was pretty cool to see I thought that was really cool to watch cars going as fast as they were down places that I will be driving in, this week probably, right, to the streets of that. But just the fact that the world, right, we're not just getting the state looking in and everybody spending time here or the country. This is the world stuff. This golf event now, when you look at it because of what the news was with the joining between the Live and the PGA, well, we don't know what it means, but you're going to get gathered up in this. And the fact that it's not this weekend, but it's at the end of the month, right? The fact that gives it a little time to breathe, that I think that Detroit is going to benefit from whatever the announcement is and whatever, moving forward, let alone, right, what they've done for the digital divide, let alone what they've done on the grounds. If you've ever been down there, it's a mini city inside the city.
That's what these events are. Grand Prix,
and it is.
PGA Tour events.
To have something that people all around know what the 313 zone is. So in case people don't know, and I like this because over the course of the weekend, and it hasn't been done yet, but if you get an eagle on the par 5 14th, you birdie the par 3 15th, or you hole in one the par 3, and then you birdie the par 4, whatever, over the course of the weekend. Then money goes back to charity into Detroit. So, and plus, have you watched the golf from up there, the party atmospheres and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was up there in the 1899 club last year with hanging out with the celebs.
And so, give me a ranking of experience that you've had, but just difference. But that's got to be an 8-9 experience.
Oh, no doubt, yeah.
Right?
And I've always said this too, for people that don't know, that haven't been to a PGA Tour golf event. Imagine sitting courtside everywhere. That's what golf can be. If that's what you want it to be, you can literally be from me to you as they hit balls off the tee. You can go to different holes and really be next to everybody.
You can follow individual guys around and walk the course for the round. You see, some of the new guys or somebody comes out. You look a few years ago, the story, Nate Lashley. You look at in front of you, you got past champion and Tony Finau.
Oh yeah, right there.
And these are good. Which by the way, we'll have to ask Mr. Langwell when we have him. But there is sort of a bobblehead giveaway for people that are attending. And what I love too is like the practice rounds in the first few days that the course is open. It's free for everybody. That's the big thing, right? In the city is that you have this golf event that maybe people haven't been to, but they get the free opportunity. I know downtown for the Grand Prix, the Hart Plaza, and just listening, even walking around, listening to the cars and being able to see the free areas that was opened up. That's what it's all about too, so everybody can enjoy it.
No, it is, and it's a lot of fun. I do like that too. Like when I go down there, I like seeing the guys that are grinding, trying to get a check.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't keep their tour card this year, they go sell insurance or they go get real jobs or things like that. That's kind of my favorite part of it.
I think that here's the one thing, right? We all hear the names, and when you mention the top names and stuff like that, but you got to remember for these events, there's 140 something guys, 150 guys that are in there, and they're guys that are trying to reach their dream. You look at like last week at the Memorial Jack's place where Denny McCarty was looking for his first win, a guy that's been out there. Victor Hovland had him off. So young up and coming guys, but it's awesome to have it at Detroit Golf Club downtown.
No, absolutely. And right now, as promised, we are joined by the executive director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. He is Jason Langwell, and it's our pleasure to welcome him back to Big D Energy on Woodward Sports. And Jason, as always, appreciate your time. Hey, anything going on today in the world of golf, Jason?
Yeah.
You got the choppy connection going right there. All right, hey, we'll work on that. We'll try to get that one together on there.
He did laugh though.
He did laugh. No, he knows. I can only imagine. But we are working on that, getting that back together, and we will talk to Jason, no doubt about it, and get his thoughts on what happened. Not only this morning, but again, what's going on around the Rocket Mortgage Classic and everything like that. But it's one of those things. D-Mac, look, I've always said this about Detroit, and we got Jason back on. Here we go. All right, everybody. We welcome back in Jason Langwell, the executive director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. And Jason, as always, we lost him, Spenny? Oh, all right.
It's got to be the cat spot. That cat, I see
Cat
it
spot
in there.
9,000.
Let's go Red Wings Party. Was that the cat spot?
I think it was.
411. Cat spot interference.
It is.
We'll see.
No, but the point I was making was, with Detroit, D-Mac, and from the bowl games to now a Final Four, and you were at the Detroit Sports Commission golf outing yesterday at Oakland Hills. The Detroit Sports Commission never gets the flowers that they deserve, and I'm going to change that. We're going to get some people on there because I want to know how that stuff works.
Absolutely.
Like, how do you get a Final Four? How do you get a Super Bowl? How do you do that?
Absolutely, like putting in the work behind the scenes. And if we know that the team's doing all this, but there's, Mike Dietz and Howard Krugel and their committee and stuff like this that are behind it, so we can get some of those questions. But you got to do a lot of work, right? A lot of selling and pandering and different things. But obviously what it is it's working, because what usually happens, Neal, and this is this in life, right? You need that first opportunity, right, to show what you can do. And they continue to show opportunities, and the reason that we continue to get the bigger events is because the Detroit Sports Commission, which is at the forefront of it, is delivering on what they say they're going to deliver on. Right? To all these organizations. They are showing us. And just as the city gets better, and here's the beautiful thing too, because everybody sees it, because the teams are slowly, surely coming out of whatever hiatus, slumber, hibernation you want to call it, for the past 10 years or so.
DNC-ENT SummerSlam this summer coming up.
That one too,
yeah.
Right?
NFL Draft next year. As we talked about, the Final Four, these events, the Grand Prix that's downtown. And you were down there, D-Mac, and we talked about it yesterday because I got brought in and the race was good and everything like that. And I'm not race elite.
No.
So I don't know like the intricacies of. All I know is it was close and a lot of people kept crashing. And that's really all you need to get, people involved or people liking a race. That's it. That's all it takes. But I mean, it was cool. Like it's kind of corny. Like I felt proud of Detroit for it being showcased like that. Like, that camera they had with the Woodward Street sign and Franklin Avenue. And again, as you talked about, all these places I drive at, it was very cool. I like it when the Final Four was here back in 2009 and the Super Bowl and the NFL draft. It'll be like we're a real city. You know what I'm saying?
I think that here's the big, at the end of the day, just like our sports teams, just like, that we're hearing about with the Lions and the national perception of what we have in our football team. As a sports city, I think that we're getting the props by getting this, and that we're slowly but surely coming back. And sometimes it's these events that you have to show before the teams are ready. Right, so to the Detroit Sports Commission, maybe that's what they've done and picked up the slack, and it even goes to everybody like Jason at the Rocket Mortgage and bringing this back downtown to the guys behind it, Dan Gilbert and Rocket Mortgage. That's important because you need that leadership, and you need like with the Grand Prix, the Blue Cross Blue Shields, you need the big companies to invest in it. And when you have these events, when you have the district still supposed to be, that'll be interesting because the draft's coming up, but we'll see. We're going to see.
We're going to see, no doubt about it. Dirty Burrito says Detroit Sports Commission gets my flowers for bringing us the draft next year. No, and it's a huge process and a big undertaking. I got to reach out to the people at the Detroit Sports Commission.
And that would be interesting to see how that goes. And what is the process? Because it's not like a year process or whatever else. And maybe the question we get Jason on, we can ask him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So we will take a break. When we come back, we're still efforting our guy Jason Langwell. I'm understanding there are some internet issues, so that is the problem right now. But there's no problem with Strawberry Fest at Big Boy because it's back, and you can try the classic breakfast items like the strawberry hotcakes or the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Not a breakfast person. It's cool. I'm not either, but I am a strawberry bacon chicken wrap person. I have messed with that before. It's good. Can confirm. More of a salad type person, they got you covered there. The Summer Splash Salad. Don't forget to grab dessert. That's the point of all this. That's what started the Strawberry Fest. The strawberry pie makes sense, doesn't it? Don't worry, they got you covered. If you're more exotic, got a more exotic dessert palette like D-Mac, they got deep fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake. All of it is there. Strawberry Fest. Get your local Big Boy today.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. All right, right now, as promised, we got our guy Jason Langwell, the Executive Director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic, as we welcome him back to Big D Energy. And Jason, appreciate your time, appreciate your dedication to the craft as well. But I have my Tony Finau Rocket Mortgage Champion bobblehead here at the desk. Hey, Jason, anything going on in golf today?
Yeah, just a few things happening, isn't there? Crazy times, exciting times in the game of golf. Never a dull moment, it seems, over these last few years.
Yeah, I mean, so Jason, let's just start with that. And certainly we're going to get into everything that's going on in and around the Rocket Mortgage Classic. But the big news of the day, PGA Tour announcing they will merge with the LIV Golf Tour. I'm sure they didn't call Jason Langwell up and say, hey, we're going to do this. Well, let me get your thoughts and things like that. So, I don't want to get too deep into it with you. But I do have to ask the question, right? Do you see this possibly having an impact on the field at the Rocket Mortgage? What's your take on all this?
No, well, we don't have a lot of information right now, right? I think everyone is finding out about a lot of this information at the same time. But when I think about anything that happens in golf, any news, I think about our goals and how it affects our ability to achieve them. And when you look at it, we're focused on delivering a great fan experience and impacting the outcome in Detroit. So anytime there's news about the best players in the world coming together to compete, that can only enhance the fan experience. It can only create a better outcome for us here in Detroit. So we don't have any more particulars this time. Look forward to learning more as we learn. We'll apply those things and continue to have the best golf event.
Yeah, and Jason, what about that too? The stars. You guys have had stars there at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Like going back to this guy here that won it last year, Tony Finau, obviously has made a jump in the PGA Tour. Yeah, the stars that are going to be there, and we're showing them right now on our YouTube feed. What kind of golf stars are we looking at this year?
The tournament, as you know, in the spring we announced our defending champion Tony Finau is going to be coming back. Ricky Fowler's going to be here, coming off of another 69 Memorial, so he's playing great golf. Colin Moore out going to be in the field for the first time. We're excited about that. Announced yesterday, Keegan Bradley will be in the field, another top guy. We got number 7 Max Homa, Tom Kim, who had an unbelievable inaugural experience last year and is now, I think, 21st in the world. And fan favorite Kevin Kisner. Kiz loves coming here. He's a 4-time winner on tour, and so. We got Justin Suh coming, Luke Donald, European Ryder Cup captain. So just the best collection of names and players that we've had to date. Promises to be the best event we've had.
That's, and then you're talking about the event, talking with Jason Langwell here, who's the executive director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Now you're a seasoned veteran in doing this, executive director. Can you talk about some of the different things that you have to face? Because now I know when we talked to you in the past, getting this inaugural tournament off the ground, back in 2019, getting the players in. Now you just listed off, that's not the problem, getting the players. What are some of the things that you as executive director have looked into? And I guess my question is, has it gotten easier, or is it more into, it hasn't gotten easier, but it's gotten more into a certain flow?
Yeah, we're in a bit, I think it's like, we talked about a rhythm and how we're in a rhythm, things seem to go smoother. We tried to find our rhythm 5 years, and I feel like we found it this year. We had our inaugural year where we came out of the gate so strong. We had a COVID year with no fans. We had a kind of COVID year the year following. We weren't sure if we were going to have fans or not. And then last year was our first year 2 and year 4. And this is our first year 5. And I feel like we found a good rhythm with that, focusing on the fan experience, enhancements we wanted to make. We announced some of those recently. Add new things. Those are the rink, and I feel like it's been a lot smoother for us, kind of ironing those out. We got 2 new fan decks this year. We've got the pit stop presented by Penske. We've had hole 17. We're adding a place called the Birdie Deck, presented by Mick Ultra. They'll be behind the 11th green. So 2 new fan decks. That brings us to a total of 6 expanded viewing decks for all fans. 4 free. There's no other event in the PGA Tour that has 6 free fan decks with great views of golf. And so it's really been our challenge over the years to try and find this rhythm and find new places to put things and have the time and runway to be off. And we have that this year. And as I look out here at Detroit Golf Club, we've got the best build out we've ever had to date.
Jason Langwell here with us, the executive director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Jason, what's the biggest thing you guys have learned from day one, when the very first fan walked through the gates at Detroit Golf Club, to today, going in, to year 5, as we're talking about? What's the biggest thing you've learned?
Well, I think honestly, what you learn is listening to your customers. Our customers are Detroiters and the fans of not only golf in Detroit, but the fans of city and fans of just good old fun. And the fans have told us we want to come out. We some love golf more than others, but fans of Detroit want to come out and have a spirit environment, and they want to see Detroit business lifted up. So we've added Carhartt apparel this year. You'll be able to get some Carhartt gear out here in the merch shop. work closely with the Livernois Business District. That's a huge priority for not only Rocket Mortgage, but our event is to feature Detroit businesses. And so we work with MasterCard to launch the MasterCard Small Business Marketplace. So Cuzzo's Chickens and Waffles, if you've been there, is amazing. Some bakes are going to be featured out in the fan zone this year as well. And so the biggest thing we've learned is Detroiters want to make just a golf tournament. They want to celebrate Detroit businesses and have a great time out here. And so our focus has been, what are the things we can do away from the roads to make that happen? And we feel like we've done a good job with that.
I agree.
No, I agree too. My question to you from being around is, and I know you don't get a chance to step away because you're so busy, but is there a spot that you would tell somebody like if they're going to Detroit Golf Club for the first time, a hole that you like to watch or a certain point of view? I thoroughly enjoy I think it's the 7th hole. It's the 9th hole usually, but I think it's the 7th hole, the par 3, where you have the spectator booth, and it's such a great. I sat there for about hour and a half there a few years ago and just watched the shots coming in. Is there a particular spot that because you've been all over the premises and stuff, that you would suggest for people to watch from?
Oh, the corner is what you're talking about. That's a good spot on tournament 9. The treehouse is a good spot too. 5 to 5, you can stand up in the treehouse, the public deck. You can see it at every hole on the front 9 with the exception of turn 3, which is number 1. We built that a little bit, expanded it this year, so I'd encourage fans to get out to the treehouse in the front 9. Who loves going to a treehouse? And then on the back 9, I would say area 313.
Yeah.
For sure. That's the place to be. Holes 14, 15, 16. We've got great fair public. We've opened I to 15T this year, so more faded and have golf. We have Eagle Casino and Sport Lunch behind 15T, so that's a great area viewing. The birdie deck's going to be fun behind 11 too. You really can't go wrong if you can get one of these public.
No, absolutely. And if everybody wants tickets out there, obviously you can go to rocketmortgageclassic.com, a bunch of different ticketing options and things like that. Last one from us here, Jason. Ever evolving, like you talked about that, listening to customers. What's new in ticketing? What kind of experiences are out there?
Well, we're really excited this year. Golf and Give is new this year. We have the ability to go to rocketmortgage.com. You can select and go to Golf and Give. You can select your favorite charity. 44 ticket, $30 is donated to that charity. So as you're coming out here to have a great time, you're going to be impacting those charities. That's something. And then we've also got the opportunity to come out for free on Sunday before for the John Shippen, Tuesday for our youth clinic and Area 313 Celebrity Scramble, and then come back out on Wednesday for free to watch our Delta Dental Pro-Am. Park at UD Mercy, right in the gates for free. And enjoy some of the best acting you'll see here in Detroit this summer.
All right. Well, Jason, as always, we appreciate it, my friend, and love to have you on. Love talking about the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Love the stuff that's going on in the city. We're always an avenue to promote it for sure. So anything we can ever do, please don't hesitate to reach out. And, as always, Jason, appreciate your time, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason. What you do.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
All right, Jason Langwell, Executive Director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Service was a little bit choppy right there, but you get the gist of what he was talking about. How about that, too? People asking about Carhartt. Does Carhartt make golf clothes now? So Carhartt's out there. I didn't even know that was a Detroit company till like a year ago. I had never known that.
They sponsor the alumni for a ton of years. A lot of Carhartt stuff. Mickey Redmond should let you know he's the Carhartt
the Carhartt king. No,
hey, you know what? If Sam was cooler, he might get a Carhartt something, but don't be nicer, Sam.
No, but again, you can go to rocketmortgageclassic.com. And that is something there when we talk about just kind of mixing with all the Detroit business. And look, D-Mac, you get how this stuff works. You're a Detroit Institute. I mean, this is what we like here. Like, Detroiters like Detroit and the Detroit businesses and things like that. And I would imagine, because I was out there last year on Sunday, and it was packed, number one. B, it was electric. And Finau kind of, like, ran away with it a little bit. So, like, the ending wasn't like a made-for-TV event or anything like that. but it was electric. I encourage everybody, and you guys have heard me say this, whether it's a quick lane bowl, the Final Four is different. That's like self-supporting. Everyone will be out there for the NFL draft. But just, man, when shit goes on in the city, dude, like, get out there and go to it.
And that's the whole thing too. Even if you're sitting back and you don't want to, you're not a big golf fan, you don't want to spend the money. Look for the free days. The practice round days when you can get out and still get that experience. I mean, you had me at all the food trucks, the waffle stuff, and man, there's ice cream there, and wow, it's such a great experience. And I would suggest that if you've never been to a golf event, and plus it's right in the city. Right, Detroit Golf Club is pretty special in itself, but the way that they set up the city within the city, in the city, that's a lot of cities.
P-Kurt 79 PGA Tour is like going to a library, not too much excitement. I would assume you haven't been out there before.
Like the 313 zone, what he's talking about, that's hooting and hollering. I mean, it's like not as electric, and nothing's like 17 at or 16
it's 17 at Warwick Hills, yeah. Or 17 at Warwick Hills back in the day. Yeah.
That's raucous too, but the way that, all the sweets and everything else, that's where the cocktails are usually flowing. That's where you'll find Neal Ruhl.
On brand,
man. We were out there. Mm-hmm. We were out there last year. When we come back, I do want to get into some of this Lion stuff. There are a couple of stats that really, really blow me away. A couple people have asked, by the way, the free JMO Woodward Sports t-shirt. Go to woodwardsports.com. You can copy a free JMO t-shirt. It's become a movement. I know that. So we were first on the scene with it. I don't want to hear it from anybody.
For sure.
We were first on the scene with it. Just like Swiss Insurance. They invented insurance.
I can't clarify that, but you know what? They have the best insurance, that is for sure. And now that summer's here, it is important to make sure you are properly covered, whether it's a grad party or just a group of people over to enjoy the lake or pool. Your liability exposure increases significantly in summertime. Let the Swiss Insurance Group review your coverage and make sure you are protected from an unexpected loss. Check us out at swissins.com, or you can call Mark today at 248-800-4177. Again, 248-800-4177. It's Swiss Insurance.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, Adam Baydoun's wandering around the studio. That's why it's dark outside. That cloud that follows him around. He's here. Or either that or it's just his beard was so thick. It's one of the two. I don't know what it is. I gave Baydoun props yesterday.
All the above?
Yeah, I gave him props yesterday on his beard game.
Well, why? Because he shaves in the morning and it's back by night?
I don't know what it like. He can think and grow a beard. I'm always jealous of those guys.
You know what? You know who is like is that Zetterberg? Henrik Zetterberg can grow a full beard in a week. It's always amazing.
Just thinks about it.
It's always amazing.
My buddy Doug, I think you met him once. My buddy Doug is like that. Like he'll have to shave at breakfast and dinner. You know, it's amazing the beard growth. I'm jealous of people's beard games. But, you know, I guess that's the price for the baby face,
there you
right?
go. Can't have it all, kid. Baby face in the bag.
Yeah. I believe it was Meatloaf that said it. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
That's what it was. Let's go Red Sparty. Do we know some of the celebs that are golfing in the Pro-Am? Barry will be out there. Calvin's out there. Tom Izzo's playing.
Larkin probably out there.
Dylan Larkin will be out there. You know, the
usual.
The usual suspects. You out there, D-Mac?
I don't think so.
No, not at that one. No. You can't play in every single one of them, I guess.
Scheduling conflict.
Yeah, but yeah, some Lion stuff here. And look,
Lions fan.
I put a lot more than most people into betting lines for a multitude of reasons. But the biggest one being betting lines are perception. You want to know what people think? Go look at the betting lines.
Yeah, go look and see where they put their money. What is it? Put your money where your mouth is?
It's become the theme of this show.
Put
the
your money
bag.
where your mouth
Put your money where your mouth is. Betting lines are what people think.
Which, to be honest, that's what you've done in the Get Right special, which is 40.
We're 40 and 13.
Yeah, right. So
and we will have one tomorrow.
Yeah, Spenny, that's the reason Spenny's been able to eat some of the nights is because of the Get Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Absolutely. Enjoyed some extracurriculars.
Yes.
Yeah, an opportunity has presented itself. And you guys know I don't just do this to do this, but an opportunity has presented itself. We have a Get Right coming up for you. Not today, but stick with us tomorrow. 40 and 13. I'm putting the name on it. So just think about it now, and I'll give you the reasons. And when I lay out the reasons, D-Mac, you know right away when it's going to win.
Yep.
You know right away. But anyway, Lions and betting lines. Why I follow them, why they're important. Do you know the Detroit Lions have the second best odds to land DeAndre Hopkins? Do you know that?
Yeah, but okay. So I was following you. I was with you 100% when you're talking about look at the odds or whatever in Vegas on teams and stuff where people bet their money. When it comes to coaches, different things like that, where's a player going to land? I don't put too much stock in I don't put that stock into the fact that because he's a second favorite betting favorite, because it's all about here in Detroit and the Lions, and is it something that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell would
and that's
need,
fair,
right?
I'm not D-Mac. I don't bring this to the people and say bring him home. That always becomes our narrative. Right? Bring him home, even though he's never been here.
Here's the interesting thing, right? And if you get deeper into the gambling and the betting, where's the money coming from, right? Is the money coming from outside of Michigan? Is it coming from Lions fans, or is it coming from the perception of what the league's
Lions
being told?
fans.
Because everybody's telling, that's the narrative nationally, is that Detroit, but that's not a narrative here. I haven't heard, unless it's changed.
No, but the point of the story, I guess, for me is what I take away from it is, look, that comes from people betting. That's what drives lines, obviously. They set it, and then the lines set themselves after that. It's just a reflection of what people think, want, believe in, feel good about.
But it's
all
also
that kind of
too
stuff.
is that one person could lay a big bet, and it's only one person that believes it. Like, it's skewed that way. It's not everybody betting the same amount of money.
Sure, no doubt. The moral of the story for me is, though, there's that perception out there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yes, if you're talking about, if you look at the odds and you want to know what's the perception and you see it second, you have to go, whoa.
Because how does this work, D-Mac, with sports, right? Especially when good players become available.
Well,
typically what happens? Where do they end up?
Good teams.
That's it. That's all. Like, short segment, guys. 2-4-8. No, you know what I mean? But for real. But that's all I take away from it.
Now, right? And let's specifically talk our teams here in Detroit. It's the same thing as we go back to, what was Monty Williams to sign with Detroit? He wasn't the odds-on favorite, was he? Right? So, but the narrative here, and you'd said it, Gores ain't giving up. He ain't giving up. There's still a chance.
Yeah.
You said that.
There's
this
still
isn't
dialogue,
dead.
yeah.
This isn't dead, right? So when I see this and say we'll take DeAndre Hopkins, and I look and I go, what am I hearing from Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell? Have I heard his name? Have I heard anything about adding a wide receiver? Have I heard something of OT? Right? So to me, it's crickets. So to me, I wonder what Monty Williams. Speaking of that, did anybody know what Monty Williams was odds board wise to sign with the Pistons?
I never really followed it.
But that would be interesting because I think that would be.
You got any intel on that, Spenny?
No, I'm not sure.
You guys didn't follow it at all?
Anybody in the back?
Yeah.
Anybody in the back? Bronner.
Yeah.
Anybody? See if we could find that out, or anybody in the chat.
Yeah. All I know is, I knew it wasn't dead. I'll just say it like that. I knew it wasn't dead, and we all saw how it played out. 9 drinks. We're talking about the shaving thing. Don't be jealous, Neal. Razors are super expensive. That's a good point, I guess. Usually twice a week. That's about what I have to shave. What is today? Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
I got a broadcast Friday night, so I'll probably shave Friday. Yeah, Tuesday, Friday is a good go, because then I can let it go for the weekend a little bit. And there's nothing going on Mondays usually. So Tuesday will be like a... Because I always like to do it so it's not like a thick shave.
I've given up. I just don't give a flying.
Yeah. So, it is, though. For me, look.
Like, do you think that... Isn't it now... Don't we as Detroit sports fans here, when we see things like this, whether we like it or not or whatever, don't we have to look into our team, into our who's leading our team, what are we hearing out of here, right? And that just tells me too, Neal, you mentioned what happens when good players are available or wherever they go to good teams, but good teams do their due diligence, whether they need that player or not. And a lot of times when you're adding a caveat, are you in a position? Yeah, sure, he might work, but I'm not in a position to do it. And the leadership is, instead of trying to put the circle in the square, where does he fit?
Yeah, and interesting you asked that, because PKurt79, Neal, do they even have the cap space? They do. They're pushing $24 million in cap space. I believe they're number 5 or number 6 in the NFL in available cap space. So if they decide that that's the road they want to go, they can dictate. If that's their guy and they're locked in on their guy, they can go get their guy. But he's got to be that, and all those conditions have to be met. And they would do their due diligence, as D-Mac said, to the point where, with me, look, the criticisms I've heard from NFL people, you've heard that around, that the speed is washed. That's the word, that the speed is washed. And you don't necessarily blindly believe everything you hear. I just wonder, because he hasn't been signed yet. Like, what's the holdup? If it's a slam dunk, if he's so desired, what's the holdup? Is it a bidding war? I don't think it's that.
You're not hearing it's a bidding war?
No.
You're not hearing, are you
Because
hearing?
if I'm his agent.
I heard where he wants to go, who is on the short list, 8
Yeah.
teams. Detroit wasn't on there, but I don't hear anything.
That's what's weird to me about it, D-Mac, because if I'm an agent, I'm telling Adam Schefter, hey, if I'm talking to 3 teams, I'm telling Schefter we're talking to 5.
So my question is it more... And this is like, we're speculating, but is it more that he doesn't have anything left in the tank, or more that afraid of like the PED thing or whatever, the fact that last year, he got caught, he got suspended, and the fact that if you sign him and he got suspended, then you're sacrificing that cap money, because it's not like it's an add-on player. We did this last week, right? What are you going to pay DeAndre Hopkins? You can't, if you're... I mean, is he that? What's he gonna want? Right, $15 million.
I'm out.
That's what I'm saying, right? Didn't we say that if he was a $5-7 million player, okay?
I'm in.
But does this tell you that more around the league that other teams think that he might be done, or he's just asking for too much, or they just don't want to deal with the headache?
And Dan Wood in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, save our salary cap money for cap casualties and pay the current guys. And I think there is an element of that too there. And there's a whole host of things, right? Could the Goff extension be loading, where you could almost front load it to? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
no, all these questions.
There is a little window
more
developing.
Of a priority. I think if you were to ask me today, where would I bet the DeAndre, if he's going to take a pay cut, or where he would end up, it's at Sam's team, Kansas City. Like, he's going to go to somewhere.
Who has $1 million in salary cap money right now?
But,
$1 million.
But
that's
it's like one of those incentive bait, right? Like, if nobody wants him, what's he going to do? He'd take that prove it deal, right, on championship, to lead him to a championship if he wanted to play that much. Or do you expect him to just walk away? Or do you think he, because he missed last year and stuff like that, he still needs to make some money?
Corey Berry brings up a good point, too. I don't see Brad Holmes' first external big-ticket guy being DeAndre Hopkins.
No, like...
Say Cam Sutton was his first external big-ticket guy, but...
But we're talking about
like
with the reputation, with the fact that
12
has
million,
stats.
15 million, like...
No, I
mean,
agree.
with Cam Sutton,
Spenny, I would put
in a year.
that's his first big in the market resetting the team. DeAndre Hopkins is that veteran older guy. Like, he's gonna eventually have to go get a Hopkins or a plug and play to whatever it is and spend that money. You'd expect it to be like what's an Ndamukong Suh? What's a guy that you're gonna plug in that's out there when you're ready to make that next step to championships?
The thing with DHop is they signed him, though, like that sends reverberations through the league. You know, with all due respect to Cam Sutton, who is badly needed by this franchise. You sign DeAndre Hopkins, that reverberates through the league. Yeah. And people are like, oh shit. Like these guys ain't about the games, man. Like we knew that before, but you know, that I don't know. I mean, obviously we'll see, but it is interesting. There is that narrative out there about the Lions. Whether it's the common fan or whoever, it's out there. Spenny came up with some offensive numbers for the Lions that I'm getting into when we come back because they're incredible. We knew it, but when you see them in front of you on paper, it's incredible. Like working out at Planet Fitness, it's incredible. I was there today. Long day on the treadmill. Grinded out Tuesday. Little 10K action, D-Mac.
Well, okay, so just back to the how far through this pair of running shoes before their launch shoes?
You know, it's funny that people were talking about New Balance earlier.
Yeah.
I did take a spin with New Balance running shoes. I did.
And
I like my Nike ones better.
Would they be better lawn mowing shoes? Or
they'll be there. They'll be there probably next lawn mowing season. I would imagine is when they would make their debut in the lawn mowing rotation.
It's important.
But yeah, it is. It is important. But no, we're racking the miles up. You know, as we said, up to between 20 and 25 miles per week, and I do it all at Planet Fitness. And guess what? It's fine because they have an army of treadmills, an army of cardio equipment, an army of weights out there. You're not waiting for things like you are at some other places. Never mind the price. Never mind the fact that it's $10 a month for access to your home club or $24.99 for a black card when you basically own Planet Fitness and have access to over 2,400 of them around the world. Over 50 of them in the Metro Detroit area. I was in the one in Novi yesterday. Not a problem. Got a black card. Basically own Planet Fitness, right? Never mind any of that stuff. Think about the fact that some people are out there at their gym right now paying $70 a month because they have a rock wall. That's happening out there. Not at Planet Fitness. It's not how they roll. And don't forget, too, out there in the community, high schoolers ages 14 to 19 can work out for free all summer long at Planet Fitness until August 31st. I saw some teenagers in there today getting it in. That is awesome. Go to planetfitness.com. You can join up there or pull in the parking lot. You'll pass a couple on the way home. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Woodward Sports content, head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rackstad here with you, chopping it up, golf, football, all of it. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. You can rewind, fast forward, all that kind of stuff. Can't catch a show live. That is the way to do it. iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker. So if you're thinking to yourself, man, I just subscribed to the Big D Energy podcast on my preferred podcast platform. What should I do next?
5-star.
5-star it, absolutely. Leave a review. Leave the review on there. Say, hey, D-Mac's awesome. He beat up Claude Lemieux. I don't care what you say on there. Just do it, right?
Absolutely.
That'd be a funny review. Somebody should go do that right now and put it on there.
Just do it.
I subscribe because he beat up Claude Lemieux. Fair enough.
Amen. Thanks. He deserved it.
Yeah, but we were talking Detroit Lions, just kind of reaction to the DeAndre Hopkins stuff. Rad says, Neal's usually pretty spot on about things regarding the Lions, but this seems out of touch. But he seems out of touch with this one. They're not going to throw a bag at the guy. Where in Brad Holmes' DNA have we seen them just blindly throw a bag? I mean, even when they threw the bag, Cam Sutton, it was controlled. Is that a fair way to put the Cam Sutton signing, Spenmo?
Yeah, how many years has this team been a team that has top 3 odds to win the NFC? Like,
never.
Games, action plans change when you're not rebuilding anymore and you're contending.
Yeah.
So, Spenny, where are you at with Hopkins?
I want him on this team.
Okay.
Yeah.
At 15
Damn the cost.
or whatever
Damn
it
the
takes.
cost. Yeah, whatever it takes, bring him in here.
Okay.
You and I have a difference. I'll take them.
Yeah.
But you know my play.
Yeah.
Distressed assets. What do you make of the fact that he hasn't signed anywhere?
I mean, it's partially because of Odell Beckham and what he signed for, and he's testing the market. Like, you can't tell me teams don't want DeAndre Hopkins. The speed thing, like, he's never been a fast guy.
And that's
he's never
fair.
been a burner.
Why isn't the agent putting it out there then? Because we see this 100 times out of 99 that the agent kind of negotiates through the media and stuff like that.
I don't know. I'm not the agent.
Yeah.
Can't tell me. But all these fucking idiots. Hopkins would ruin the locker room. Hopkins wouldn't be a good influence. In
You and
Jameson
I are together on that.
That's just fucking stupid.
I go to DMAC. I go to DMAC on that. We talked about this last week.
And all of this would be.
Do you see this as a locker room that runs itself?
I think he comes in having something to prove. If all this goes through to Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and they want to sign him and they develop to sign him, it's with a purpose, and I think that it'd be the motivation. It's the same thing as I compared it to like a Brett Hull, right? Signing him, and because it's the talent. Well, the talent gets you over the hump to whatever you think the deficiency, whether it's leadership or whatever in the locker room. So, to me, I'm confident in the culture that they're and it's even young, but what they've built, and they're not going to jeopardize. So if they bring him in, that means that, hey, he's going to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. I think that also, too, when you become a better team or a more respected team and a team that is going to be successful or has to be, you have to have these parameters. And there's no fluctuating. So if a guy and especially a veteran guy, you know what he's all about. And veteran guys who have been around that have got their bags and got their stats, and are we talking about DeAndre Hopkins in a gold jacket?
Yes.
Right? So he's got those stats. Now what's he need? Let's polish it off. If he thinks this is what he can leave everybody with the taste at the end of his career, 1 or 2 years here with Detroit with what they have, and Brad Holmes says yes, then I'm with Spenny. Yeah. Then I'm accepting it. Right? I don't put too much stock in it or worry about it because I trust the guys that are in charge.
D-Mac, you were there. You were there at training camp. You talked to Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Did that?
It's a vibe, dude.
Does that vibe tell you that locker room is capable of running
itself? It used to be back in our locker room once it was solidified, like 97, 98, all through there, is that there's no one person that could come in here and disrupt anything. We added Chris Chelios, our number one hate, and he fit in like a glove.
And also, like this, there are no reports of DeAndre Hopkins being a bad locker room guy or a cancer in the locker room.
Here's the only thing, right? And this is what you get where the thing against the selfishness is the PEDs. You got caught, you cost your team PEDs. Now, if that's something that's in the past and whatever like this, and Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and the Lions are good, that it's not going to happen again, and he's not going to be a detriment, right? Then it's an opportunity. Now it has to go to the conversation you said earlier. Does it stop them from their plan on their guys and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff and moving this ball? So it's in their game plan. If you don't think for 1 minute at the end of the day, right, that DeAndre Hopkins, if he is one of the guy that they want, that they won't go after him for what they want, It's whether Hopkins wants to be here or wants to be somewhere else. He didn't put the Lions on his choose list. He didn't put Jared Goff on who he wanted to receive passes from. So I'm sure he's exercising the rest of his options. And the fact that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and the Lions aren't out there looking desperate, right? That's the one thing, too, is that we know maturation because our team doesn't look desperate like it has for the past 20, 30 years at different times.
And that's part of it for me. And that's part of it for me too. Is because they're not desperate.
No,
the receiver
they got a
room will be
game
fine.
plan. Their game plan. And you know what? I don't care who it is. If it fits in with their game plan, and here's what happens to good teams. Players come available that you're going, oh, I didn't think that would happen, but hey, he would fit here. Oh, yeah. That doesn't happen to bad teams. No one wants to go there. Right? Unless it's to rebuild, unless you are restarting from scratch.
Yeah. So, again, it all just kind of comes back. It's a long way of saying almost kind of your Steve Yzerman thing.
It is.
It's on his time.
Yeah.
No, look,
it's with their plan. Because do you not think, like, if I say right now, is the game plan out of Allen Park and the Lions, whatever it is, they're all on the same page, right? I get that feeling that everyone there, coaches to the staff, to the players, everybody's on the same page.
And that's where I am with it too. And Spemo and I, like, we're not far apart. You and I are in lockstep with the philosophy of it.
Yeah.
Our only difference is in execution, like a price tag and things like that. And we're both on brand. Like, we're both on brand to what we typically are, and that's fair. I can't hate you on that. There is a part of me that would like it because of the stuff I talked about before, to say, hey, league, this is on.
Yeah.
Like, we're not playing around here, man. Like, this is for real.
There's different, the interesting thing is there's a bunch of players out there that would put the league on even more notice, and Hopkins was probably the top of the list.
Generic Lion sound, huh?
Hey, hear us Lions roar, right? Okay, that's real.
God.
That is beyond corny. I can't believe I just said that on here.
I can't believe you said that either.
Yeah, but you know what? I am actually more with Spenny than anybody in this room when it comes to DeAndre Hopkins. And I agree. The thing I agree with him most about is that if you say, I don't want to spend a bunch of money on DeAndre Hopkins, especially if he asks for between 18 and 20 million, I can understand that argument. This idea that he's some sort of locker room cancer or something like that, I don't want to hear it. And also, when it comes to whether his skills diminished or not, I understand that NFL players, sometimes it goes quickly. They just fall off a cliff. But it's not like DeAndre Hopkins is 35. He's only 30. And the last time we saw him on the field, he had 717 receiving yards in 9 games. A lot of it with Kyler Murray being out. So DeAndre Hopkins still has it. He is a gold jacket guy. If he retired today, that would absolutely put the league on notice. And in some ways, it's a need for the Lions, particularly in the first 6 games of the season.
Ransom said if DHop signed today, 100% of the people would welcome him in. 100%. And then there's no doubt. Like, our viewership would explode. You know, it always does. Whenever something big happens like that, people tap in. And it would be, we would spend an hour of the show talking about it. There's no question in my mind. Like the studio construction that's going on. They would have that wrapped up before Ermanni and Edwards comes on at 2 o'clock. 100% they would. There's no chance they wouldn't.
Oh my God, it's Ryan Ermanni!
That was some of the construction crew today. Those were the words that was recorded on site about an hour and a half ago. That happened. No, but here's the critical question through all this. Let me rephrase this to Sam Flannel and see if he answers it differently. You said you're on board at any cost with DeAndre Hopkins, right?
I don't know about any cost, but 15, absolutely.
Okay, well, that's pretty much any cost. Rich Diana, here's the critical question. Would TK85 get less targets with DeAndre Hopkins around? That's the question I need an answer to.
Oh, absolutely. He would go from 0 to 0.
0?
0.
I thought he had, like, big third down catches.
He's getting 1, baby, because I'm getting coffee. I know that for a fact.
I'm talking, hey, what happened last year is not what's going to happen this year. We're talking about the upcoming season 0.020. So I guess it'll stay the exact same. There should be no consideration on any planet in any galaxy
unless
in any
it's
universe
3rd and 7 in a big road game
of Tom Kennedy being phased out because of DeAndre Hopkins. You bring in DeAndre Hopkins, Tom Kennedy be damned to hell.
I think it's a talking point right now within the Lions organization, Sam Flannel.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
How does this impact TK85? When it's 3rd and 7 and our ass is in the fire on the road, who's going to be that dude? TK85 is that dude.
He did it a couple of times.
Mr. Kennedy.
Oh, man.
First down.
I really have to balance.
I should have taken that PA job at Ford Field back in the day.
You probably should have. And one of the hardest juggling matches I have in my life, let alone my sports fandom or this job, is juggling me wanting the Lions to win, but also being so annoyed at Tom Kennedy because of you guys, you in the chat, you on the show, just making this guy a folk hero. You did it with Zach Zenner too. Stop. And Don Kelly, Spenny's favorite guy.
Don Kelly's the GOAT.
Exhibit A.
Leland says Don Kelly's a GOAT. He's a GOAT.
No doubt about it. Hey, what could be better than watching celebrities like Braylon, Darren McCarty play golf? How about playing golf yourself and being treated like a celebrity? That's what. Stop in any Randy Wise Automotive dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity. VIP transportation, free golf to one of Michigan's best courses, and a tasty steak after. Compliments of Fairway Packing Company. We'll be doing a live remote from Fairway Packing Company. Anytime there's stakes out there involved, I want to be around it. There is no doubt about that. Make the wise decision and get to Randy Wise today for your chance to win and be a part of the Randy Wise Automotive Team Celebrity Golf Tour.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Jump into there. Get your thoughts out there. We'll be getting to those all show long, as we always do. Emerald Eyes, Kennedy. That's right, Sam Flannel. It's a movement.
I already know it's a movement. Trust me. I'm more aware than any of you guys that it's a movement. That's why I hate it so much.
Spencer Raxter came up with this, and it's incredible. D-Mac, we've talked about the Lions' offense and how good they were last year, especially the second half of the season, how clean they were last year. But Spenny came up with some of the numbers and plucked these from Twitter, and they were sobering to me. Percentage of, or number of drives ending in a punt or a turnover in all the NFL in 2022. The Lions had 66 of them, number 1 in the league. Number 2 was Buffalo and Kansas City at 71. D-Mac, that one blew me away.
Because that's where you want that's sort of like goals against.
That's how you win.
Right? That's how you win. So I guess the fact is, and that goes down to, because obviously interceptions, and we've talked about it, is Jared Goff going to have the same sort of season and take care of the ball? The fact is that's a sobering stat, right? To say that maybe we're ahead of a lot of other teams in different ways. We always look at like the defense or the overall or whatever it is, but what do we say? Taking care of the football. So Dan Campbell sitting there has got to be so proud of this stat, because isn't this like a sobering stat? And that's a team that didn't make the playoffs. So when it tells you that it's that good in one way, then it's obviously glaring in other ways. what does that tell you? Teams that ran on us, teams that third down on us, secondary and stuff like this. Now, do you expect to be there again this year? Probably not, because
No.
I expect Jared Goff for a few more interceptions, but I do expect them to be around 70 to 75. They should be there. They should still continue to be top 3, top 5 in the league, because that is an asset to their game.
Spenma, what'd you think of when you saw that? Were you stunned? Stunned?
Yeah, I was pretty shocked. That's some shocking stuff. Like that many drives ahead of Kansas City and Buffalo is pretty crazy.
That's what the thing that blew me away. Like, that's Buffalo and Kansas City. Like, that's. Did any of you go to this when you saw that? Let's go Red Wings party. Shows how bad the defense was, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bro.
It does.
Like, we knew.
Glaring.
We knew last year, like, the second half of that season was special. Like, the run they went on. It was special. You can't deny it. Even the biggest Lions hater can't deny it was special. But that is another. God damn, that first half of the season, man. Bruh.
Yeah.
I know that's beating a dead horse and everything, and it's past and stuff like that. I do feel like we missed an opportunity, though. Don't you feel that way, Sam Flannel?
Absolutely. A team that has that mind-blowing of a stat where, the least amount of drives that ended in a punt, in which you finish pretty well ahead of the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. You would think that 110 times out of 100, that team would win 11, 12, 13 games, win their division, make the playoffs. It just shows how costly the beginning of the year having a historically bad defense is. Something that a lot of us Lions fans have kind of forgotten about, because it seems like ancient history with how well the defense performed at the end of the year besides the Carolina game. It shows how costly that really was to the season. I don't know if the Lions offense, at least when it comes to that stat, is ever going to be quite that good again. I'll tell you what, they better make the playoffs next year, just to make up for not making it when their offense was that efficient.
Do you buy this from Elgato? The Lions' defense will be better than the Lions' offense this year.
I can't get there. I can't get behind that, unless maybe if James Houston actually doubles his sack total, which we talked about yesterday, then maybe I could see it. But the Lions' offense, I can't see them finishing any worse than maybe 7th or 8th in scoring, and I think their ceiling is maybe 1st. I'm not calling for it. I'm just saying their defense, they were like 20, despite them playing better, they were like 26th last year in terms of scoring defense in the entire NFL. They have a lot of work to do.
And you can talk about like the sex appeal of sacks and turnovers and everything like that. But D-Mac, the bottom line in this league, if you're a defense, you are the points you give up. That's what you are. Now, I know there's like external factors like turnovers that get factored in, like a turnover at the 20-yard line. Everything. I get all that, but you are the points you give up.
No, absolutely. And here's how I look at it now, right? Where it's like I was like spending shot. When I first looked at it, I was like, okay, what were we the worst in the league at? And then I looked at this, and I was like, wait a sec. Interception, like this is what you're trying to do in football. But what is a glaring fact of how bad the defense was? So where do you look at, Neal? What does the media look at? What do they do about the defense? Oh, my gosh. Splattered the secondary.
Right.
Address this, address that. Wow. So I believe they are going to be better defensively. They're going to improve. So this only makes them better. I think that, obviously, this is more transparent to the first 6 games, 7 games of the season, right, of how they couldn't get off the field and couldn't make the other team punt and couldn't stop a running quarterback. So, to me, they've addressed the glaring issue, and they'll continue to do that. Like I said, what do you think that a reasonable number is? Because if you're still a reasonable number around 70 to 75, you're still up there with the top teams like Kansas City, Buffalo, and everybody else.
Here on Mark M says, the other stat, Goff's one of the least sacked quarterbacks. Sack is the new turnover, right? And that was something that I thought right away as well. The offensive line controls the game. And I know that I'll get labeled because I'm a Penei Sewell simp. You guys know that. I think he's the one that kind of, he was the first one to come in here and change the way things operated. By the way, Woodward Sports Instagram put up that clip of him mixing up with Aaron Donald. And I'm going to say I got bricked up by watching it again. I am going to say that.
You're allowed.
Yeah.
Giggity. All right. All day.
Speaking of bricked up, I saw another advertisement for a company. I'm going to send it. I forgot to send it to Spenny. I'll send it to him in the break. It made me laugh. It made me turn around and go back to get a picture of it.
No way.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
is awesome.
Absolutely.
Because that took effort, and you're
It
the
did.
laziest man around.
100%.
So actually, that should tell people, stay tuned. That's a segue.
No, it is. But that wasn't the only kind of number porn that Spencer Raxter was able to.
He's got more?
dig. There is more out there.
Deep dive.
Spenny,
Way
give
to
me,
go,
give me
Spenny.
another one, Spenmo. Let's see which one do we have here? Touchdown rating, goal to go in the last season. Tennessee Titans were otherworldly 94% of the time at
You got
goal to
Derrick
go.
Henry.
Yeah, but they got the bulldozer.
Yeah.
They do. But the
Not
Lions
Matt
got a
Tremont.
bulldozer too.
Mm-hmm.
At 85%, tied for second with the Dallas Cowboys, was Penei Sewell and the Detroit Lions.
And here's the thing. I got to think that's going to go up. I don't think you're stopping David Montgomery in the same places that Jamal Williams was. Plus, Jahmyr Gibbs with the options, and then Sam Laporta for that old fake tight end, dump. I wouldn't be surprised, and I'll almost expect the Lions to be 90% next year.
El Gato says defense, Neal, will lead the NFL in turnovers. That's a bold statement, man.
It's extremely bold, but I will say this. Remember last year, we all agree that Kirby Joseph just has a nose for the football and is a turnover-causing machine. They added another turnover-causing machine in C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who only tied for the NFL lead in interceptions. So, El Gato, I think your prediction that the Lions' defense will be better than the Lions' offense is a little off base. This one, it's more feasible. Am I calling for it? No. But when you got C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Kirby Joseph in that defensive backfield, they're going to create some turnovers. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm not prepared to go there. But, D-Mac, you know what that tells me, though, about the goal-to-goal thing? And even to a lesser degree, the previous number about fewest drives with punts. You know what they do? They punch you in the nuts. That's it. That's all.
A lot of that too is the efficiency on fourth down, and not being afraid to go. And a lot of time early in, obviously the coaching. Nobody's brought up in the last 6 months Dan Campbell's coaching decisions, right? But the fact is that we know that on fourth down he's not afraid to go. So the execution of that helps it not turning the ball over that way too.
Here on Mark M, that clip of Sewell gets me bricked up too, and the one of them taking a swipe at the dude after picking up a receiving first down. No, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. You got one more, don't you, Spenny?
I do.
Another one.
This one was incredible.
Oh.
This one was incredible. Lead after the first quarter across all games. Detroit Lions were third in the league in leading after the first quarter in every game they played. So there's that as well. D-Mac,
well,
those are all good team numbers. I don't know how else to say it.
And got to learn how to. Again, the transparency on that is okay. We start out great. Now great teams finish better. You look at the Phillies at the bottom, +5. Well, we see how they finish games, get into it. So that's part of maturation. It's part of maturation.
That's good team shit.
Yes, all of that's great team shit. All of that plays into the ingredients of why the Lions are being bet, why they are third in the expectations to win the NFC North,
and why
it's those numbers, all those things that Spenny went deep diving into football porn, is to tell you the why. You're going to tell me the why.
No, I will, but it also tells you why Brad Holmes did what he did in free agency.
Amen.
Went out and addressed issues. It's still weird. It's still weird, seeing this. Hey, we had a group that was deficient. I'm going to go fix that. It's weird.
All right.
That's all.
Get used to it.
Sports Marketing
Becoming
Agency.
the norm.
They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, it's called This is the S Word. It's a series that addresses the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com, the sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Coming down the stretch, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you, and just kind of reactions to those sobering statistics that we saw about the Detroit Lions. Peaceful Tim, love the new normal, Neal. It's still uncomfortable. I didn't say I didn't love it. It's just still a lot to
weird.
It's a lot to process, as we would say over in your land.
You don't realize you're coming out of that abusive relationship, and it's not so much physically but mentally until you're treated right. We're getting treated right.
I know.
I think we are.
And I don't know how to deal with it as of yet. How about this from El Gato? Neal, if the Lions defense isn't in the top 5 in turnovers, I'll buy you a blue label at $220. What kind of blue label are we talking about? That's a bold statement.
Is that like, are there a lot of
Is that
blue
like
labels?
a Pingree blue label? Like, what are we talking about here?
Like, does that pique your fancy? Is blue label good? I'm assuming it's in the bourbon world, right?
Yes.
Top 5. So is that out of the question? Like right now, it seems a huge
aggressive
leap until we see what we have. But you also mentioned, do you think that on paper right now, there's a possibility? I think top 5's, that's a big leap. But how about, top 10? Top 15? Let's go to the first half.
Absolutely.
For sure,
Top 5's
right?
aggressive, man.
Top 5's aggressive. 5 to 10 is an absolute bonus, and 10 to 15 is that's what I expect. You still expect to be top half defensively, correct?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to.
And,
if you're a division-winning, playoff-winning team, you have to be.
And what are you looking at your defense, right? You're looking at your defense to create sacks and interceptions. Do you have the ingredients and the players do you believe you have to make that happen? Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah, right? So it's exciting. We'll see. So I don't think Elgato's like off his rocker. It's not a cat spot take in any means, but you know what? It's aggressive, but I'm here for it. But that's the aggressiveness that we can act with these days with what our team is. So I hope you're right, Elgato.
Spenny, would you help me drink a bottle of Blue Label if one was brought to the studio?
I would.
Dude, he'd help you drink a bottle of
Mag Steel Reserve,
whatever.
That's why I like Spenny. That's why Spenny and I vibe. I feel like any bottle that would get dropped off here, you and I would tackle.
I agree.
With little difficulty.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is fair.
I'll water anybody's plants that they want to drop off.
Horticulturalist. Jack Stark says, I'll buy you a blue ribbon from Pabst, family of beverages.
Right.
Spenny would help me drink that too.
I would indeed.
Spenmo doesn't care.
I don't discriminate.
Hoofhearted said Spenny couldn't answer that question fast enough.
Except for vodka. I'm not a vodka guy.
You'd still drink it.
I would.
If that's all there was.
That's all there was.
All right, Elgato did confirm. Johnny Walker Blue. I got lots of friends that would help with that bottle. Elgato, you would have to help with it too.
That was my final for my spirits and wine and spirits class. It was a flight of Johnny Walker, and we did 2 of them.
Just, well, you got to be thorough.
Yeah, and students were pouring the shots, the tasting, so they were like double shots. I was lit up walking home from class that day. It was awesome.
Oh, that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that day. Elgato says, I'm a man of my word. All right, well, so are we. Bring the bottle through. We'll drink it. Elgato, you, me, and Spenny. We'll get into there, and we'll take care of it. Aaron Stoner says, pop off all day, a day. So there's always a pop off guy in every room.
Can't say that I hadn't been there before.
Me neither. Like that is the way. That is the way that it's. Is Chris Sims back?
Yep.
What is it with this guy?
What do you mean? Is he back? Did he go somewhere?
Chris Sims did a top 40 quarterback ranking. He's just doing this to do it.
Oh, is he back with his goofiness? Is that what you meant?
He's just doing this to do this at this point right now, right?
Doing it and doing it and doing it.
Has Jared Goff ranked as 17 in the pantheon of NFL quarterbacks, many spots behind Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins, Rain Dakota, Russell Wilson. That's where I draw the line. Chris Sims, you want to do it for clicks and everything like that. You want to do it for views. However, whatever reason you're doing it, that's fine. You want to shock everybody with the Kirk Cousins and the Rain Dakota Prescotts and all that stuff, fine. But do not, under any circumstances, put Russell Wilson above that man. Did you just parachute in here from before last season? Did you watch Russell Wilson? I did. I saw it. What is wrong with you, man? Somebody get this man away. And look, I know someone's building the graphic for him, but someone take the keys from Chris Sims when it comes to quarterback rankings. Please, somebody please do that immediately, D-Mac.
Was this Chris Sims or Phil Sims?
This is Chris Sims.
Chris Sims.
Okay, so he's been known, right? At least his father, has some acumen and stuff like this. When you put that list up, Spenny, throw that up again. I immediately think Goff this year could play his way up in front of Deshaun Watson, but you're gonna put it's. Are we not used to the disrespect that our quarterback gets from across? Right?
No,
so
and
why
that's
are
fine.
Why are we? This is a continuation. This is the joke across the league. This is whatever it is. At least the people here who aren't big Goff fans, and I mean here in Detroit or whatever, respect him and the job that he's done. So, I mean, this is just like Chris Sims being on brand, looking for clicks and stuff like this. Like where Jared Goff should be, he should respectably be in the top 15. He should be 12, 13, whatever like that, and prove yourself again. But when you look at that list, I think he can outplay all those guys and make his way into 8 or 7.
D-Mac, it's fine. You want to do, that seems to be like the hot button thing. You want to do the Kirk Cousins and the Rain Dakota Prescott's fine. But I draw the line at Russell Wilson. I draw the line.
But is that the fact that, yeah, I agree with you. I think Russell Wilson is absolutely fried. But the fact that Sean Payton, the quarterback whisperer, is going there, is that the juice that he's getting? Here's the interesting thing, right? Let's see, first 3-4 weeks into the season, where does this list? Where are the guys at?
Can we shelf that one and come back to it?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll spike the ball halfway through the season.
Isn't Jared Goff the one on that list? Deshaun Watson is still a misnomer, right? Because he hasn't played a year and whatever in the talent.
You know what's weird about him, D-Mac?
Done. Jones gets up there because he won the playoff game. I mean, you can't argue, and the way that he's a touchdown machine with his legs. Cousins, no. Dak, it's all reputation. Russell Wilson, that's years ago. Geno Smith, now I can respect that because of what he did to come in, but Geno Smith and Jared Goff, are they not the same? Smith, whatever else should be up more. So it's all a question of scruples. Is there anybody out? Look at Justin Fields, 23rd, right? There's a guy that is expectations to move up.
I didn't even see it. 2 at 21.
2 at 21, yeah.
Yeah, but that's because scrambled eggs. Bro.
Under Mac Jones.
Look at Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, there's a lot of guys there. I would like to shelf this and let's maybe 4 weeks into the season, go back and see who's doing what. Because a lot of times, too, change of scenery, new guys, the way it fits out. I just have a lot more confidence. And, at least Chris Sims is consistently bad.
I do. We're keeping the receipts on that one. Mark me on that. Keep me honest on that.
Right.
We need to go back. And, hey, if I need to do a public apology to Chris Sims, I won't. But if I do, I'll do that.
That's fair.
I'll do that for the people out there. Russell Wilson, that's enough.
That's bad. Yeah.
That is enough. He keeps getting away with this, putting this stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never understand
eventually push comes to shove, rubber meets the road. We're gonna see. He's got to go out there and sling it, or do whatever Russ does.
Let Russ cook.
Let him cook.
Let him cook.
Let him do calisthenics on the plane going to London.
I think
enough.
He's cooking himself.
Enough.
It'll be interesting how long that works out, because it's either going to work or it's absolutely not going to work for
Yeah,
Sean Payton.
I know what works every single time.
Absolutely, haircuts. But also, too, guys, check this out. Walk into any Lady Jane's for the award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for a chance to win not one, but two vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars. One for you, one for your wife, girlfriend, or best bud. Remember, Spenny, he's all good. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in any time. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. Mark Walston never understood the Russ hate, almost like Isaiah being hated for smiling too much. Wait, never understood the Russ hate.
Russ is a douchebag.
Thank you,
Hey,
Spenny.
Do it. Do the in the bed.
From laying in bed with the "Yo, Seattle, we got a deal," to the calisthenics on the airplane flying over to London, to getting $190 million, $200 million guaranteed, whatever it is, and playing like a corpse last year, through the action figure hair, through all of it, Mark. That's why I have the hate for Russell Wilson. And I was just telling these guys during the break, we always come up with Team Bs and stuff like that. My Team B this year is any team playing the Denver Broncos. I will tap in. All the time.
Who's your hate watch team this year?
It is the Denver Broncos. I will be tapped in and just laughing every time Russell Wilson throws a pick, throws an incomplete pass, and the savior Sean Payton's parachuting in to save Russ's career. Even Sean Payton can't save you, Russ. You're cooked. Just like the franchise that gave up all that draft capital and paid you all that money. You guys are both cooked. You're like everybody's lawn right now in a drought. Cooked.
Think about that, right? Because a lot of people to the same thing, hate watch that. And then you got Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. You got all the
I forgot about that.
I know you did.
I'm going to be busy this year.
I know you did. But I agree with you. Russell Wilson, the implosion. Yeah, we're just interested more in Aaron Rodgers, not to play on the field, but the post-game press conferences, right? Russell Wilson, we're looking for that absolute implosion.
Who do you hate more, Uncle Joe or Russ? I have a more consistent
Grandpa
hate.
Joe?
I have a more consistent hate for Grandpa Joe, but for some reason, Russ spikes it. If
Russ
that makes
is the most cringe person on the planet.
that's it. Cringe, I think.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. It's not even that I hate, which
Grandpa Joe's just a bad human.
He's a bad human
Russ
being.
is just a
You
cringe.
ever do anything dangerous? I have. Oh yeah, fucking Subway sandwich, real dangerous, you douchebag. Like, oh my.
Now it's permeated to Penny. I got you going.
Oh, I hate him so
He
much.
had a banana pepper on there.
Yeah,
Ooh,
so dangerous.
Sam, you gonna hate watch any team this year? Other than the Lions?
Oh come on! I don't hate watch the Lions. They're my favorite team. I would say maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if Baker Mayfield is on the field. You know, a sneaky team that I might hate watch a little bit, and everyone's going to get mad, and I don't even so much hate them. I want to see the Cincinnati Bengals not win that division. Because, like I said, Joe Burrow has become Teflon. He is the most prematurely crowned superstar.
Is he your Russell Wilson? You hate him the most out of any quarterback in the league, don't you?
I don't hate him. I just hate that anybody put him in the same stratosphere as Patrick Mahomes last year. That drove me insane. And the fact that even during his failings, you're not allowed to criticize him. He is the most... he is... You know what?
He's cool.
He is not cool. Remember that...
I need a drop of that immediately.
He is not cool.
He is not cool.
Remember that game-winning touchdown drive that he led against the Baltimore Ravens in the playoff game that they won 24-17? Oh, that's right. That didn't happen. It was Tyler Huntley going in at the 1 to have the go-ahead touchdown, and Sam Hubbard returns a fumble 99 yards because Joe Burrow sent him a motivational text the night before. That's the type of stuff that you hear. Joe Burrow has never
I forgot about that.
Joe Burrow has never thrown for 3 touchdown passes in a playoff game, never thrown for 300 yards in a playoff game, and never led the Cincinnati Bengals to 30 points in a playoff game. Stop it. So yes, I will be hate watching the Cincinnati Bengals.
He's cool though.
And Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in the NFL. All things can be true.
But a distant second, though, right? To the GOAT.
Distant second. Lake Michigan is between Patrick Mahomes
Like
and
Connor
Joe Burrow. McDavid
and whoever's second in the NHL.
That's
But
actually a
that makes
good
sense,
comparison.
though. He loves AD, hates Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? Because it's stats. Sam's stats driven. Stats, not team driven.
Yeah.
So, fortunately, Joe's team driven, and those motivational. Hey, you never know how those motivational messages work out.
Yep.
The Burrow effect.
Yeah. D-Mac, are you going to, like everyone else here on the show is cracked, who you hate watching?
Oh, I see. I don't. It's more the excitement, and I've said Russell Wilson because I believe.
I thought you were
that
going to say
he's
the
that-
Winnipeg Blue Bombers or something like that.
No, you can't. Not the Canadian game. God, it's aerosol. Plus, how can I hate the Canadian game when that's where our boy Tom Kennedy's probably going to end up soon?
All right. Hey, I made the executive decision. Does it start this weekend? Just for fun, we're going to do a CFL Pick'em League. Just us 4.
Oh, all right. I got to...
Tiger Cats.
I got to get Calgary Stampeders.
We're doing it.
And I've been to a game in minus 20 degrees.
I'll start the Excel document. We're doing it.
Jesus.
Just so you guys know. We got to do it on Thursdays.
That's fair.
You know, they do their games at one Thursday night, one Friday night, and 2 on Saturday night.
Yeah.
They do it right.
Let's do it.
They do it right with the man in motion.
Can't wait to see who Sam's going to hate watching the CFL. That's brutal. Guys just trying to get a paycheck.
Stupid BC
Lions.
Lions.
And let me make a correction. Joe Burrow has thrown for 300 yards once in a playoff game in which they won 19-16, in which he had 0 touchdowns and 1 pick, and Ryan Tannehill
Did
threw
they
3
win?
interceptions. They did win, but
Oh,
Ryan Tannehill threw 3 interceptions.
Did they lose? I don't.
Oh
man,
my God!
I can't
19
understand this, dude. I guess it's I'm gonna go home and pause 4 rings.
Real quick before we get out of here, what about this one from Steven Syret? Hopefully the equipment is moved before the final word. Yes. You wanna get right pick. You want to get right pick. Whatever it takes. Lay the minus 30,000. Whatever.
I can't guarantee much more than that.
Yeah.
Right? That's a bigger guarantee
It won't
than
rain.
the hashtag Wiser playing 1919.
It won't rain today, and that equipment will be moved. Those are 2 things. You have my word, and it's stronger than oak.
That's it.
You know this equipment will be moved.
Stronger than oak.
The screen, everything will be back up.
That was a good drop. Stronger than oak.
That's my word. It's stronger than oak. This stuff will all be up
See,
and running.
he's a big Oak Island fan.
Yep.
That's what he meant. Stronger than Oak Island.
I stole that from Jerry Maguire.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was it. Hey,
all right.
Have a great day, everybody. Appreciate everybody tapping in. For D-Mac, for Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, my name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping into Big D Energy.
Deuces.
Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.